Can international humanitarian law override national laws during conflicts? Recent events have brought the question of international humanitarian law to the forefront of global discussions. As conflicts escalate in various regions, many are asking how these laws interact with national legislation. This topic is particularly relevant with ongoing conflicts that highlight the need for protection of civilians and adherence to established legal frameworks. International humanitarian law is a set of rules designed to regulate armed conflicts. Its primary goal is to protect civilians and limit the impact of war. Central to this body of law are the Geneva Conventions and the laws of armed conflict. These laws aim to be universally applicable, but their relationship with national laws can be complicated. The principle of military necessity requires that military actions are essential for achieving legitimate military objectives. Actions must avoid causing unnecessary harm to civilians or civilian property. The principle of distinction mandates that combatants differentiate between military targets and civilians. Only legitimate military objectives should be attacked. Proportionality is another key principle, requiring that harm to civilians or civilian property must not be excessive compared to the anticipated military advantage. The principle of humanity prohibits unnecessary suffering and mandates humane treatment for all individuals. In theory, international humanitarian law can take precedence over national laws during conflicts. This is because it is based on universal principles intended to apply globally. However, the extent to which international humanitarian law can override national laws varies. Countries that have ratified international humanitarian law treaties are generally bound to follow them. Yet, the incorporation of these laws into national legal systems can differ. Some nations may have domestic laws that conflict with international standards. In such cases, international law typically prevails. International courts, like the International Criminal Court, can enforce international humanitarian law against individuals, even if their actions were legal under national law. This court has jurisdiction over war crimes, crimes against humanity, and genocide, as defined by international law. Customary international law, derived from state practices, can also influence how national laws interact with international humanitarian law. Customary law can bind states even if they have not ratified specific treaties. The protection of civilians is a core aspect of international humanitarian law. The Geneva Conventions and their additional protocols provide specific protections for civilians. These include prohibiting the targeting of civilian objects and requiring a clear distinction between military targets and civilians. Violating these principles can lead to accusations of war crimes. In practice, while international humanitarian law offers a framework that can override national laws, its effectiveness relies on the willingness of states to comply and the capacity of international bodies to enforce these laws.